Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Pavey here. Welcome back to the channel. So today, here's what I'm going to be talking about. Despair is the last refuge of the ego. Before I continue, please like and subscribe and share this to spread the message. And please do leave me a comment below if anything chimes. If you want to find problems, my friend, if you want to find problems, you can very, very easily find them. And there are people out there, even people that you support and that temporarily make you feel better, that are, I'm afraid to say, full of doom and gloom. And they want to remind you all the time of everything possible that's going wrong, how your freedoms are being taken away. And what you'll notice is that as people do this more, guess what happens? Well, their social media followings explode through the roof and go stratospheric, and all the people who claim to have been cancelled have hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube and many more on places like Instagram and TikTok. I don't really know about Facebook anymore. I mean, it used to be a big thing, but now it's just a bit of a joke, isn't it? But to me, the most important thing in the world, and you're going to be lonely in this if you follow the same path, is solutions. Very few people want solutions, and it's my belief that even more than not wanting solutions, they actually want the chaos. They want the drama. They want the anger. And guess what happens to them? They get old and bitter before their time. It's what happened in my ex-relationship. It's what happened. He was morbid. He wanted only to highlight what people did wrong. And he spoke about it obsessively. And all the time. And it makes me realize now that the reason it kept on sort of ticking along for a certain amount of time and then blowing up, simply because I just couldn't take it anymore. I really couldn't take it anymore. And that's why we split up. And it ramped up, funnily enough, around the time of his birthday. Because people realise, everybody knows that even if they're complaining all the time, everybody knows that time is running out. You know, I look at old photographs of me with hair and all of this, you know, the same colour, and time does pass. But, this is the big but, it doesn't mean, it's inevitable, that you have to deteriorate as a human being. It doesn't mean that you have to lose hope. And people talk about hope in very disparaging terms. They don't like the idea of hope. They want the misery, and they want to throw their arms up and just give up and sign it all over to an outside body and have no desire to actually really sit down and immerse themselves in the idea that there could be solutions. Because I don't accept the narrative form of history. I don't actually believe that it exists. I believe it's all subterfuge and lies and propaganda and manipulation, or people attempting to manipulate you. But if one thing is true from the past, it's this: that nothing is ever over. Things just change, and it's never ever the end. There's always hope. And even if you have to be an army of one, standing for truthfulness, for joy, very important, and for actual progress, it's never over. It's never over. And people have been predicting end times for, well, thousands of years of recorded history, but people survived the flood. We don't know exactly what the flood was, but every single society has talked about some kind of flood. There are people that survived the ice ages. There are people that, do you remember, I don't know when it was it maybe the early 2000s? Something like that, when people were predicting that the world was going to end because it was coming to the end of the Mayan calendar. When was that? This is the thing, the Y2K, the year 2000 bug, that all the computers were going to spontaneously implode because they couldn't handle, the new date format. But obviously they did. It's never the end. There's always something that you can do. There's always a way that you can have influence, and that you can spread that influence just by connecting with people and asking how you can help them and what services you can offer for mutual benefit. Always that capacity to make things better. And it's really interesting that I've mentioned in quite a lot of my videos that there are just a small handful of people that I've followed for quite a long time. And the funny thing is, they don't have any solutions to offer. And I don't think they believe that there are solutions. I always do. And even if that is wildly optimistic or delusional, I don't care. I don't actually care if they're delusional. What I care about is being a positive influence in the world, spreading genuine love and genuine support, and defining boundaries, drawing a line between me and other people who are destructive and are demonstrably destructive, and self-sabotaging. And the truth is, the relationship dynamic that I am unlearning is that I've been around very desperate people who didn't want to be helped, but I relentlessly tried to offer them advice and support them. But the amazing thing was they didn't want advice, and they were incredibly critical when I offered it, which is proof. Is proof that people don't want to sort out their problems. They want the misery. And I couldn't really tell you why. Maybe it's just familiarity. But whenever I used to help or give advice, they would call me many things. They would call me naive, was common. But people called me delusional and crazy and spoiled and all this kind of stuff. I'm helping you. If I'm spoiled, I wouldn't be able to look beyond the end of my own nose. But this is what people are like. This is what a lot of people are like. And forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. But I actually wish people well. But I'm starting to learn, actually, that it's important to delineate, to treat people as they actually are, and to realise that there were people who, I'm afraid, were deliberately nasty and manipulative, because in a way I was sort of naive, in that I believed in the potential of people, and that people could be the version of themselves that would be happier, but the other person has to want it. So when you hear people despairing, understand that their circumstances are different, and that they might have been through different experiences, or they might just not be open to the solutions, and love them and let them go. But don't let it stop you. Don't let it diminish your light. Don't let it deprive you of your joy, which you deserve, and to live freely and optimistically, and always be on the search. I was talking the other day that entrepreneurs are explorers, always explore for the joy in life, and to keep things going, and to try, in your own way, to help other people, to encourage other people. And there'll be a handful of people that will do that. And history has actually always been led by a small faction of people, a small group of people. Very rarely do massive protests or revolutions of loads of people. They don't really have positive outcomes. Steve Jobs, agreeing with his politics or not, said, I support the crazy people because they're the ones who believe that they can change the world, and they very often do. So use your power for good. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Pavey, and I will see you on the next video. Remember to like and subscribe and share this to get this important message out. And please do leave me a comment below. I really appreciate it, and it really does help the channel. I shall see you on the next video. Ciao for now, folks.